guys, it's Donna, and today I'm going to be talking about mental health and what you guys can be doing to maintain a positive mental lifestyle. So the reason I'm doing this is because I know a lot of people do deal with this, and a lot of people are very open about it on their Instagram posts or maybe even their Facebook posts, but with them sharing, I didn't find that they were offering any solutions to those who might be dealing with the same things that they are. So that's kind of where you guys came in. I posted earlier on my Instagram page this week that I was going to be doing this blog and vlog post, but I wanted your guys' input on what you guys do to maintain a positive, healthy mental lifestyle. So everyone kind of has their own thing that they like doing to calm themselves down or to get back to a place where they can like come back to the world and be better than what they had been feeling before, but not necessarily everyone has the same solutions. So you guys gave me a lot of things and some of them were matching up. So that's pretty good that a lot of you guys kind of have the same gist, and a few of these were actually a little bit more out there than others. So I thought those would be very beneficial for someone who might not have thought to do that before. But before we get going on the list, I do want to share with you guys some statistics on mental health, as well as share my personal journey with my own mental state, I guess. Right off the bat though, without any research or going to see a doctor, we all can agree that mental illness kind of sucks. And it affects more than just our mental being. It can actually affect our physical life and go into affecting our personal or even professional relationships. So what I found in my research is that about 46.4% of Americans do experience some sort of mental illness in their lifetime, and about 32% of those people are dealing with some form of anxiety. The other thing I found that was actually kind of interesting, but kind of sad, was that the rate of youth experiencing a mental health condition is actually rising. But that makes a lot of sense because one of the articles I read was like 10 habits that are really bad for your mental health. I'm linking everything below for you guys on the articles I read, where I got these stats, and all that fun stuff. But this one, I didn't mention all 10 of the habits posted, but the two that I found really interesting was that one of them was overuse of social media and overuse of your cell phone, not even using social media, are 2 out of the 10 worst habits you could do for your mental health. But as I was reading, one of the things I did stumble across most often was this idea that you need to address that you even have a mental illness to begin addressing the mental illness. And honestly, that's actually something that I went through. So up until maybe last year, I didn't actually fully realize that I had anxiety. So my personal journey on kind of figuring out I had anxiety kind of stemmed from the fact that I very distinctly remember I was going through some financial troubles, and it all came crashing down into one moment that I just like went into the bathroom and just sat down in my bathroom and locked the door, and I didn't come out for maybe like 20 minutes. And it's weird how things work, because one of my friends texted me and he was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, are you in my house right now? How did you know I was not okay? But I ended up texting him. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm freaking out about so many things right now. And it all centers around like financial stability and the fact that I just don't feel like I'm there anymore. And he's like, "Oh, you're having a panic attack." And I'm like, how could I be having a panic attack? I've never had a panic attack. That's not something I do. So from there, after figuring out that I had a panic attack, I kind of took a step back and kind of started taking it more seriously on the idea that I might have anxiety. And I know my mom had anxiety, my sister has anxiety, and it was just something that I thought was not serious enough to be my problem. So I did go to see my doctor about it, and I just remember being in there and I'm like, "Hey, I don't want to self-diagnose, and I don't want to tell you what I feel like I have," but I told her that I was like, "I'm feeling beyond stressed out about certain things, and I feel like I do have anxiety, but I don't know what the effects of anxiety could come in the form as, because of the fact that I just don't know anything about it, and I would like to hear some of your thoughts about it." And she said, "Oh, well, I have anxiety, and What happens when you do have anxiety, it's something that you really can't control. It's going to come in the form of thoughts you didn't allow yourself to think. It's going to come in the form of freaking out about things that aren't necessarily happening. It's going to come in the form of you're not living in your own reality. You're going to be living in a fantasy land that it's driving you insane. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm living in a fantasy land. And thinking about it, that's exactly what anxiety is. It's you concocting images and thoughts in your head that aren't true, and then you start living the life of the lies you created, and it affects the reality that you're actually in. And right there was the start of me tackling it, of me realizing that I am the one that's making myself go insane. But it's also something that made me realize that I couldn't stop myself from going insane. So my doctor asked me what kind of things I would like to do to pursue fixing it. So I asked if there was a way that I could be put on an anxiety medication that was more natural and wasn't chemical. And she suggested a really cool brand to me that I could just pick up at, I believe it was Sprouts or something. But it actually really did help me like calm down in the moments that I wasn't able to do it by myself. But all these suggestions don't go without saying that you will need to see your doctor if you feel like you have anxiety, so they can suggest something for you and you can talk it out with them like I did with mine. So after I talked to my doctor, it kind of began my journey into living with anxiety, I guess. But I do remember I was dating this guy last year, and he invited me very last minute to go to like a little get together at one of his friend's house before we all went to the favorite bar that we always go to. So I texted back, I asked who's gonna be there, and he just rattled off maybe only like 5 people's names, but I just didn't know any of them. And right in that moment I kind of like tensed up, and I said, thanks for the invitation, I think I'm just gonna meet you guys at the bar. And he said, why don't you want to come hang out with me and my friends? And I said, just very point blank, social anxiety. And he's like, okay. He didn't understand what that meant to me. So I kind of just explained, I'm like, I would rather just meet these people on my turf as opposed to their turf. And it sounds really weird, but it's home field advantage. I would rather meet someone one-on-one first as opposed to going to someone's house that I don't know with some guy I'm dating and meet 5 of his friends and kind of feel excluded. And that's kind of what I was feeling in that moment. So I just decided to opt to just meet him there. I'll be so much better if I'll just meet you there. And that's what I knew about myself at that point, that I should just take myself out of the equation as opposed to causing more anxiety. So that being said, let's get into some of the ideas you guys had. I've kind of divided these ideas into 4 categories. 1, things to do at home. 2, things to do if you're active. 3, things to do if you're creative. And 4, things to do if you have the money. Let's do the simplest one, and let's tackle the ones that you can do at home. Right off the bat, take a bath, take a shower. Do something that cleanses your body. Maybe that'll feel like you're cleansing your soul or your mental state. Someone made a very good point on my Instagram in the comments that taking a bath or a shower is kind of like a social deterrent, like do not bother me. If you hear the water running or music playing, or like that the lights are off and candles are very clearly lit, they're gonna leave you alone. They're gonna give you space. They're not gonna open the door or knock on it to try and get your attention. They're gonna give you a bubble. The other thing you can do, listen to music. Whether you're feeling angry or sad about something, I always try and listen to music that of the same mood that I'm feeling. So if I'm feeling sad, I just want to feel sad, I'm going to listen to sad music. If I'm pissed off, I'm going to listen to pissed off music. Also, spend time with your family. If they're close enough, spend time with them. If they're not close enough, maybe give your mom a call or your dad a call, your sister, your brother, literally anyone who's a family member. This one I found kind of interesting. Be alone. Just spend time by yourself, doing nothing or something, but just spend time with yourself. Take a nap. I love this one because nothing makes me feel better about myself and what I might be feeling than just cat nap. Love it. Drink tea. Now I know not all of you guys may be tea drinkers, but I really like this because one of my followers suggested that you drink Earl Grey because it has, and I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, bergamot, Bergamot, pronounce that, which releases serotonin, which is supposed to make you happy. So if you're not feeling like in a happy mood, drink Earl Grey tea. Spend time with your pets or take them for a walk. I like this one because I have a husky and he's literally the epitome of all huskies and is very active and very smiley and very hyper. And anytime I'm around him, if I'm not in an angry mood, it's really entertaining to see him do zoomies everywhere and like not have enough traction on our wood floors to get running. It's hilarious. And then some things I personally like to do that no one had mentioned, watch your favorite show or movie. I literally have Office and How I Met Your Mother on repeat all the time. And then my top favorite actually is to go outside and sit by myself on a full moon especially. I'll go and sit outside by myself at nighttime anyway, but I really like doing it on a full moon night when there's no clouds in the sky. It's just absolutely gorgeous. 2 things to do if you're active, and not everyone is into exercise or moving, but for those of you who are, here's some things you guys can try. Go for a drive, although that's not necessarily being active, it does get you out of the house. Go for a walk or a hike. Again, if you're active, this could be fun. Just watch out for snakes. It is getting a little hot out there. And if it's too hot for comfort, go for a swim. Love doing that. But if you don't have a pool, maybe just like turn the sprinklers on in your yard and then like run through them. Someone suggested this and I appreciate it because it does get a little violent. They suggested doing boxing or kickboxing. And I've actually never considered this, but I realize how it could be such a great recommendation because of the fact if you are pissed off about something and you want to punch something but you can't punch certain people, go punch back. Listen to really loud angry music and go punch something. Alright, things to do if you are the creative type. You could draw or write, or you could read or bake. I've done all of these except baking because I'm not a baker. But I do really enjoy drawing because it gets me really focused on the lines I'm drawing and the shading and making things look really nice. I'm not much of a writer, but lately I have been doing a lot of writing because of the blog posts. Get crafty. Find a DIY on Pinterest or something or Google and try and accomplish that. So I know personally, like I only like being creative and crafty in that sense if I'm with someone. So one of my old roommates and I, we would always have like a roommate bonding time and we would craft together. And it was really fun because he would have his projects and I would have my projects and we would just sit there in silence and do our projects. It was really fun and I really enjoyed doing it. So the last suggestion I had for this, I numbered everything 1 through 4 depending on what it was in the category. And one of the, I don't know why, but I put go to the beach as something to do for if you're a creative. And I believe that was supposed to be a number 2 for something to do if you're active. So to add on to the active list, go to the beach. And lastly, things to do if you have the money to do it. Get a massage. That is number 1, what everyone should be doing for themselves anyway. Mani-pedi, treat yourself. See a therapist or a dietitian. So I've actually seen a therapist and I saw them right after I went through one of my first breakups. Mostly I saw them to get me through the breakup, but it also helped me realize why the breakup even happened and what I could do to better myself because of it. And then one of my followers actually suggested seeing a dietitian because of the fact that your diet does play a very important role in the type of life you live and the moods you have. This next one is definitely something I know I need to do for myself, but go on a mini vacation or a staycation. I haven't been on a vacation in like 2 years, and to me that's 2 years without a single break. And I just really need to get out of my routine. I need to get out of my house and I just need to go on some sort of vacation out of here, even if it's literally like 20 miles away. I know that's what I would need, and I know that is what a lot of people feel like they need at some point in time. And last but not least, you knew this was coming, go to Disneyland or the Disney store, whatever's closest for you. I know that anytime I go to the Disney store, I actually feel a lot better. Just because I like being a part of the magic, I like being in there for a few minutes, I like seeing the new merchandise that's out, and it's just a nice little sprinkle of Disney without actually having to go to Disney. Overall, I hope you guys found this video helpful, And if you guys have any other ideas that you want to add, please leave them in the comments below for other people to try, or if you just want to share what you guys do personally. I hope that all of you are maintaining a very healthy lifestyle, or will start to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I'll be putting more stuff up like this in the future, just sprinkling in with Disney stuff and real talk kind of stuff. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!